Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Marie here. If you are new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by to watch this awesome video that's about to happen. If you're returning, man, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And to all of my new subscribers, thank you. Thank you so much. Just all around, if you're watching this video, thank you. I really appreciate it. Okay, I wanted to come on today and just talk about some paranormal experiences that I've had like in a home setting. I don't have a ton because I do tend to protect my home. I do a lot of that because I really feel like I really want my home to be my safe spot. So, you know, after going out to investigations, after doing all of that, I want to be able to come home and feel protected and safe and not have to worry about the bumps in the night all the time. I still get them, obviously, but not in the scary sense. Not good. So the first one I want to tell you about is it was a few years ago, maybe about 10 or so years ago, when my sleeve always falls, so I'm always fidgeting with it. But a few years ago, when I was opening up back into paranormal investigating and trying to kind of hone my craft, I didn't protect my home. Like, I knew how to sage, and I knew that saging would cleanse you the environment if you felt like it was a little wonky, or just like if there was a disturbance in the force, you know. So I would always sage when that happened. But I didn't realize that you would need to sage, or it would be a great idea to do that if you were actually dealing with the paranormal. I've since learned that, but back then I didn't. I was such a newbie to it, even though for all of my life I've been all about the paranormal. I've always believed in it and all that fun stuff. But anyway, so whenever I would so when I started back up, I would take my old, and I still do this, but I had like an old tape recorder, you know, those the ones from the 80s and 90s and whatnot. You just put a little tape cassette in, and you just hit record or you hit play, and that was it. And that is actually one of the ways that I will, if I ever have someone who is a skeptic, which we all should be to some extent, but if there's someone who's like, I don't really know if I believe in it, I say, yo, check this out. Take an old-fashioned cassette recorder, take it into a dark room or a dark house where, you know, nobody else is there, hit record, start talking, listen back, see if you hear anything, and then if you do, then you'll know. That's not normal. That's paranormal. That's like something else that's there with you, because you clearly know that you're by yourself. So anyway, so this is what I was doing. I was just learning again how to do EVPs and getting practice with that, and yeah. So I never would cleanse after that. So I would do a session, and then there was a show, I don't know if you guys remember this one, but it was called Paranormal State. Well, they used to have this app, this EMF app on the phones. It was just an app, but it would detect EMFs. And I was obsessed. I love using that app. I don't think it still exists anymore. I tried to find it a couple of years ago. I couldn't find it, but it kind of freaked me out actually, because it was so strong. But I would use that, and I would, you know, go around my apartment, and I would just, you know, just putting it everywhere just to see what I would get. And I got a few different things. But okay, so would do that, and I would, you know, do the recording, would do a session, and then I would literally just take my headphones and go and listen. And I would do that over and over again. And then there was one night where I started hearing things in like my kitchen area. So I don't know if you're familiar with this setup, but a lot of apartments have the kitchen, and then at the end of the kitchen, there's a laundry room a laundry hookup, right? It's like a little closet inside. You have the washer and the dryer and all of your laundry stuff. And I remember hearing this like shuffling sound in my laundry room, and it was as if somebody was going through the stuff that was in there. And I remember just laying on my sofa, and I was like, that's not hell. So I started hearing that stuff. And then one night I had my first, or my only, sorry, I just looked at my computer. I have my computer on in front of me, and I look down, and there's this picture of this house, with this pretty furniture, with this big, huge window, whatever. It's got like nature on the back. But they have a fireplace in it, and I'm looking at it, and then I'm like, what the hell is that in the fire? And it's a picture. It's an old picture of me that I had saved to my desktop. So, when you save stuff to your desktop, it like shows you what you saved. Anyway, so it's an old photo of me when I was dressed as a zombie. Like, it blended so well with the fire, with my makeup. Spooked me for a second. Sorry. Anyway. So one night, I am sleeping. And I tend to sleep on the sofa a lot. I don't know, if I'm in the living room and I'm watching television and I fall asleep, I tend to just stay there sometimes. Sometimes it's just more comfortable. Like, I just don't want to get up and move. It's just too much. I'm already in my sleep pattern. And so one night I'm sleeping, and I would have this feeling actually occasionally over, where if I was laying down, I would feel something like, as if it were going like this. Just like, it would start at my leg, like my ankle, and then kind of move up. And then one night I was like, okay, I'm just gonna because whenever I would move, it would stop. And I'm like, okay. So one night I was just like, I was trying to feel, see if I could feel, is this just maybe my clothes moving, where they're where the blanket kind of sliding off a little bit, or is this something else? Because it legitimately felt like something was touching me. And yeah, that was really weird. That was one of the first times that I had ever felt that before. Sorry, my hands are really dry, so I'm just scratching. So that was another experience that I had with that, and I still feel that time to time. I'll feel the latest that I've had was I felt like something was touching my back, like they had put their hand on my back, and it spooked me because for a second I was like, oh, it's just whatever, because you don't instantly think that something's touching you, but it just felt like something, it felt like my shirt had gotten caught or something in the back, it had moved, or something was weird with my shirt. But then I realized I was wearing a tank top that was just formed to my body, so there was no way that could happen. And so I was like, nope. He was like, do not touch me. Please, not. I was in the bathroom. I was like, don't touch me here. Seriously, please, space, boundaries, right? Oh my God. Anyway, so one night I fell asleep, and I remember I couldn't move, right? It started with that feeling, and then I couldn't move, and I was like, the f is happening? And I remember I woke up, I thought that I woke up, but I woke up, and I guess this could be an astral projection, or you're out of body, but I remember I looked, but it was completely dark. It was nighttime, and I usually leave lights on or TV on or something on, but it was dark, and you could only see the lights coming through the window from the moon and the little lights they have around the apartments. And I looked over to my front door. My front door was open. I was like, that is really weird. So in the state that I'm in, like my physical body cannot move. My astral body is walking, and I'm walking out the door, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like I can feel something is around. And I remember I walked out of the door, and I was living on the bottom apartment. So, you walk out, you've got the apartment across from you, and then there's like the stairs that are going down. Well, right in front of the stairs, there were two people that had their like lawn chairs parked out, or just parked up in front of my like this, just right in front of the stairs facing my apartment. So I saw them when I came out, and then I remember I saw that thinking that was really weird, and then I turned back, right? I turned to look into my apartment, and I could tell, I couldn't see anything, but I could tell something was right across from me. And then I just remember like waking up. That was probably the scariest experience of sleep paralysis that I've ever had. And knock wood, I don't remember, maybe one time before, but I don't really remember that one at all. It had to have been, it was just too long ago. But this one was pretty spooky. So, trying to think of some other experiences that I've had. Of course, like I've heard the knocking, and I've always seen things out of the corner of my eyes. But at home, oh yes, the last place that I lived, and this is why I started getting, I, for whatever reason, had the urge to contact Billy the Kid. So that's why there's a lot of Billy the Kid stuff. But in the city that I was in, the Missouri River ran through it. And so there was a lot of talk about just this town being, like it just had, I guess every town has a lot of paranormal activity. Just found out that the city that I'm currently in has a history of it as well. So we're going to do that here soon. We're going to get out there and go investigate. But for whatever reason, the urge to contact Billy came. But this was before I had that urge, or before whatever. So I'm downstairs. We had just moved in. We've maybe been there for maybe a week or two. And, basements are always creepy, but this basement was fully furnished, not furnished, but it was a fully completed, it was a downstairs living room, bedroom, 2 bedrooms and a bathroom, a shower. It was a nice little apartment downstairs. And, I had the urge to, use my spirit box or use my REM pod or just kind of mess around with my equipment. But I also believe that I really don't want to mess with that stuff in my house because, again, like I said before, I want to keep this a safe space and not full of spooky stuff all the time. Like, I love spooky stuff, don't get me wrong, but I'm talking about, I don't want to invite that stuff in. So, so this particular incident, I remember we were talking downstairs, and there was this door that was straight up the stairs from where we could see. We were standing right next to the stairs, and just directly above it, there's a door to our back door. And we're talking, and all of a sudden the door just opens. Nobody else is awake upstairs. I know that the whole pressure, if you have a door open or a window open and you open another door, it'll the suction between or whatever, the vacuum of it will close it. It'll close the other door, and that was not what was happening, or it'll open, right? But that was not what was happening. It was nighttime, and there was no way. Nobody opened the door. It just opened. So I went ahead and I started. We looked at each other, completely freaked out. Immediately, I got my sage out and stuff, and I started doing a protection thing around my house. And I remember the entire time that I was doing that, there was like this knock on my, oh, I'm getting the chills. Like I'm getting hot just talking about this. The entire time that I'm, doing my sage and stuff, I hear this knock like on the back window that's behind me, right? And I was like, no, I just gotta keep going. Like, don't pay attention to it. You can never pay attention to that stuff. Like, don't give it, don't let them know that you hear it. So that's flying around. Anyway, so yeah, so after that, after I was, done and all of that fun stuff, I never, like, I still had a little thing here and there happen, but it wasn't as spooky as that. Like, that was actually pretty spooky, that with the knocking on the window. And just talking about it right now just kind of gives me kind of spooks me a little bit. So yeah, so I tend to ramble, and my throat gets really tight when I talk about the paranormal. I don't know, I guess it's like a whole communication thing. Because, you're communicating with spirit, and they're trying to communicate with you, and, all of that. And I just tend to ramble. I can hear myself rambling, but something I'm working on. Anyway, when I talk about it, I'm just going through the memories of it, and so I don't know what this whole thing is. But anyway, those are the paranormal experiences that I've had, and I definitely recommend. I mean, it's all up to you in the end, but if you do go out on investigations, please, when you come back home, well, first of all, tell the spirits, hey, don't follow me home. You're not allowed to follow me home. Don't follow me home. And then whenever you get home, sage, I'll even take sage to my investigation. So when I go to leave, like, I'll do a little cleanse, and then I get home and I cleanse, and all that stuff. Just because it keeps that added protection. And then, of course, if you have any charms or anything, make sure to wear that. But I would love to hear your spooky stories, like the paranormal events or activity that you've experienced in your own home setting. Comment below. And then if you enjoyed this conversation today, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you are not if you are not a subscriber. That would be amazing. But until next time, you guys, keep it spooky. Thank you for watching.